The protagonist had always been mocked as a useless good-for-nothing who could never awaken any special ability. But when the student council president came looking for trouble, everything changed. With nothing more than the most basic punch, the protagonist knocked him out of commission, leaving him completely unable to fight. The surrounding students were stunned on the spot. Yet the protagonist felt disappointed. He had gained far too little experience points. He even wanted to kill him. It turned out this was a world invaded by the demon race, where everyone would awaken a supernatural ability upon reaching adulthood. In his previous life, the protagonist had been an ability user with an SSS-level talent. But during the final battle he lost all his friends and family and ultimately chose to perish together with several demon kings. When he opened his eyes again, he discovered he had been reborn 10 years in the past. Not only that, he had awakened the Devourer system, and even his former SSS-level Lightning Assassin class was now linked to it. 3 years later, the first Demon King would appear and open the first gate of hell, and the protagonist knew this was his chance to change everything. He saw it clearly. System. Lightning Assassin. Lightning Assassin. Wasn't this the class of Si Chen from his previous life? Si Chen vaguely sensed a stream of energy flowing within his body. Could this be the power from his past life returning? Had he awakened earlier than expected? He decided to check his current strength and began converting his class. At that moment, someone knocked on the door. Ma Long appeared, looking anxious, and hurried over. "You're awake. Are you okay? Is your body all right?" Si Chen replied calmly that he was fine now. And as expected, no one else could see the interface. Ma Long nervously circled around him to check his condition, shocked to find that the injuries from yesterday's severe beating had completely disappeared and that his recovery speed was even faster than his awakened older brother. Ma Long was Si Chen's university dorm mate. Although he had awakened during college, he ranked at the bottom of the class. And in their previous life he was tragically killed when the third Demon King descended. Now he stood right in front of him, muttering that he even felt Si Chen seem stronger than before and wondering if he was imagining it. Only at this moment did Si Chen truly realize he had really returned. Ma Long suddenly remembered that the aptitude ranking test would take place tomorrow and urged them to hurry back and prepare, explaining that even if he had not awakened yet, it would still affect the graduation evaluation. As the scene shifted outside the campus at sunset, people bustled about with their own activities while some boys excitedly played soccer. The protagonist murmured that it had been a long time since he had seen so many living people, making Ma Long shiver and ask why he was saying something so creepy. In his previous life, the protagonist had lost everything, and if he did nothing, that hopeless future would soon repeat itself. He resolved to make a plan immediately and level up as fast as possible. In this era, awakened individuals had only one way to level up: killing demons inside demon dungeons. But those dungeons were monopolized by major guilds, leaving outsiders with almost no opportunity. The government classified both awakened individuals and magical beasts into grades S, A, B, C, D, and E, with most students stuck at grade E and only a few geniuses or those backed by guilds reaching grade D, although experience could roughly estimate strength. He wondered what grade the official evaluation would assign him. And after glancing at Ma Long, he was certain he was stronger than him. Suddenly, a ball flew straight into Ma Long's face, knocking him to the ground and shattering his glasses. Gong Cheng mocked them, saying they recovered pretty fast and sarcastically reminding them that since they knew he was playing basketball there, they should have brought 2 cases of drinks. Frightened, Ma Long immediately apologized and offered to buy them at once. But the protagonist coldly interrupted, stating that the one at fault was not Ma Long and that the ones who should apologize were them. Si Qian muttered to himself, "So it's this guy." A wave of memories from the past suddenly flooded back. In the past, he had been trampled and humiliated by this group. Seeing this, Ma Long panicked. "Stop. All of you, stop." But Gong Sheng turned around and sneered. "Why should I stop? I'm helping him. He still hasn't awakened. Shouldn't he get a little stimulation?" His group burst into loud laughter. "He's already passed out. Let's go. This is boring," someone said as they dragged him away. Ma Long rushed over anxiously. "Si Qian, are you okay?" At that moment, tears slipped from Si Qian's eyes as he asked hoarsely, Why won't you ever leave us alone?" Pure malice did not exist only in demon dungeons, it also existed in the human world. Gong Sheng turned back. "What did you just say?" A sinister smile spread across his face as he ordered, "Go, keep beating him." Back in the present, he spoke with disdain. "You clearly knew I was playing basketball here. Why didn't you bring 2 cases of drinks? Ma Long trembled. Sorry, I'll go buy them right away. But Si Qian stepped forward firmly. The one at fault isn't you. The ones who should apologize are them. Gong Xiang's expression instantly turned vicious. Ma Long hurriedly whispered, Si Qian, what are you saying? Gong Xiang released his aura and strode forward. Si Qian's eyes turned ice cold. This was Gong Xiang. He relied on his older brother, the strongest student council president, to bully the weak. In reality, his own ability was nothing remarkable. The people around them began to mock. Look over there, Gong Xiang's about to beat them again. Weren't they just sent to the hospital? One is the weakest awakened, and the other hasn't even awakened yet. The 2 biggest trash in school. Gong Xiang stood in front of Si Qian, flaunting his presence. What did you just say? He threatened. Si Qian frowned. From now on, don't bother us. Gong Xiang lunged forward. I think you're really asking for another beating. But before he could even touch him, Si Qian countered instantly. Gong Xiang was knocked backward, clutching his arm in pain. The crowd froze. What just happened? He actually blocked Gong Xiang's punch? Didn't he say he hasn't awakened? Am I seeing things? Gong Xiang cursed. A weakling who hasn't awakened dares challenge me? Si Qian gave a faint, almost sinister smile. Perfect. I'll use you to test this. System. Initiating class conversion. Class conversion complete. Level 01. Si Qian. Lightning. Assassin. On the side, Ma Long cried out in shock. When did you awaken? Si Qian merely crooked his finger in provocation. Furious, Gong Xiang activated his skill. Undying demonic magic, he roared while attacking. Looks like you've forgotten what it feels like to be crushed by the strong. But he was continuously countered. His body was sent flying, bruised and battered. The onlookers gasped. What just happened in that instant? He knocked Gong Xiang away with one punch? Even Gong Xiang himself was stunned, his mouth hanging open. Is that really Si Qian? What's going on? Lying on the ground, Gong Xiang still shouted, You sneak attacked me. Then he barked. What are you idiots standing there for? But Zhang Bai stood frozen, unable to move. Before him was the overwhelming figure of Si Qian radiating power. Gong Xiang refused to give up and charged again. I'll kill you. But as soon as he swung his arm, Si Qian casually caught it. Gong Xiang let out a scream of pain. You? Si Qian looked at him with utter contempt. Too weak. Then he unleashed his final strike to end the fight. This time, Gong Xiang was beaten until he was covered in injuries. Sent flying backward, his back slamming hard against the wall. The imprint of Si Qian's hand was clearly marked across his face. Ma Long dropped to his knees at the sight. Trembling. Si Qian, since when? His voice was filled with disbelief. How are you this strong? Meanwhile, Si Qian calmly drew a few conclusions. First, just like before, he could switch into lightning assassin mode at any time. Although the system was currently only level 1. As he had predicted, his normal state was already enough to deal with the lowest level awakened. This meant his current rank was above E, but the exact rank remained unclear. Suddenly, his gaze shifted, but there was still one problem. He had clearly defeated Gong Xiang, so why hadn't the system value changed? He slowly took out his weapon. Could it be? Seeing this, Ma Long grew uneasy. Wait, Si Qian, what are you doing? Si Qian pointed the weapon straight at Gong Xiang's throat. He reached a cold conclusion. The way to gain experience was the same as before. Si Qian stepped forward and launched a series of relentless attacks at Gong Xiang. Just then, Ling Yu approached and reminded him. Student, this is school. Although he was at fault first, this level of punishment is enough. He won't dare lay a hand on you again. Hearing that, Si Qian coldly threw Gong Xiang aside. He wondered why the student council members were so eager to protect him. But he had no intention of truly crippling him. If he didn't thoroughly intimidate people like this, they would only keep causing trouble in the future. The onlookers whispered fearfully. That expression just now was terrifying. We'd better not provoke him again. Is that really Si Qian? Weren't those two the weakest and poorest in the whole school? They quickly dispersed. Ling Yu spoke coldly. The weakest? The poorest? The scene shifted to the boys' dormitory building. Ma Long said in a fluster. Why don't you believe me? Si Qian really awakened, and he's a super strong lightning assassin. He knocked Gong Xiang flat. Those guys don't even dare look at us now. Shang Ba dug at his ear lazily. Then where is he? I think, he said he went for a run. The other boy pointed and scoffed. If he's that strong, why would he still need to run? Do awakened even need this kind of basic training? Does that make any sense? Shang Yu added. Looks like Ma Long really got his brain damaged from the beating. The four of them were assigned to the same dorm precisely because they ranked among the bottom four in overall aptitude in their grade. That was an unchangeable fact. Shang Ta declared loudly. I'm fourth from the bottom. Which makes me number one in this dorm. Everyone only awakens one class in their lifetime. Those two are just support singers. I'm the only combat class here, a core mage. That's the super reality you can't change. Si Qian looked so miserable. How could he possibly awaken as a lightning assassin? As for me, I've been feeling stronger lately. Maybe I can even join a club soon. Tomorrow is the final rank evaluation before graduation. We'll know everything then. Meanwhile, inside an E-rank dungeon trial, Gong Ting walked out with his hands in his pockets. That's it for today's trial. His eyes landed on Gong Shaying. You're waiting for me? Gong Shaying said darkly. If you don't handle this, I won't be able to sleep tonight. He humiliated me in front of everyone. That's the same as disrespecting you. Gong Ting sighed. I understand. I'll deal with him. At a dining table, slices of fine meat were being cut neatly. Ling Yu probed. How do you plan to handle this? Gong Ting replied calmly. If he wasn't strong enough, that's his own fault. Is that guy really as strong as he claims? She continued. You know everyone's strength and rank in this school. Fewer than 10 have reached rank D and you've already recruited them all into your club. No one else has the opportunity to access dungeons like you do. Ordinary awakened can't level up. No one can catch up to you. At that moment, Si Qian was training in the rain, carrying a 100-kilogram load over 20 kilometers. Basic training could improve physical fitness. The upper limit of an awakened's power was directly proportional to physical strength. Only with a strong enough body could one withstand and fully unleash their class abilities. He thought to himself, this is still far from enough. In the year 2160, the Demon King of Wrath left the dungeon and descended upon the human world, slaughtering countless people in an instant. Si Shane's only remaining family member, his younger sister Si Yun, had died in his hands. The terrified cries of, don't, no, still echoed in his mind. Wrath was also the one who opened the gate of hell, allowing other demon kings to enter the human world. Si Qian clenched his fists. His first objective was bold, kill Wrath. Wrath was the origin of all destruction. His descent was still 3 years away, and he must already be accelerating his growth. Si Qian had to become stronger faster than him. Suddenly, his phone rang. He quickly checked the screen. It displayed, Si Yun calling. He answered softly, hello, brother, why did you call me so many times today? I had a competition and my phone ran out of battery. I just got back to the dorm and plugged it in. Brother, if I win this prize, we can finally pay the rent. In that ruined future, he had prayed countless times for a chance to start over. Brother, is it raining over there? Why aren't you saying anything? He thought to himself, even if I have to pay with everything, it's nothing. He replied, even if it drags me into endless hell. I just haven't heard your voice in a long time. She laughed. What are you talking about? Didn't we speak 2 days ago? Once I finish the competition, we can meet. Just wait for my good news. Bye. He stared into space, deep in thought. Now, everything had truly begun again. Si Qian resumed training. 3 more laps. I must become stronger as fast as possible, to protect all of this. 8 hours had passed since he returned to this era. He was gradually getting used to this younger body. Though still relatively weak, it was young. Next, he needed to think about the most crucial question. To level up, he had to enter dungeons, but they were monopolized by guilds. Aside from the privileged few, most people had no chance to increase their rank. How could he access demon beasts? And what exactly was the power of Devour? Suddenly, a mechanical voice echoed. System initializing. Initialization complete. Devour system activated. In his most bewildered state, Si Qian was abruptly teleported elsewhere. He landed in an unfamiliar space. Before him stretched a strange, eerie road. He was stunned. Where is this? Wasn't I just sleeping? Si Qian stared at the item in front of him and wondered. What exactly was this tower? He glanced around at the unfamiliar surroundings. At the same time, a Tongxiao crawled out from beneath the mud. The system voice echoed, initiating class conversion. He immediately realized, demonic beast. Could this place be inside a dungeon? Class conversion complete. Level 01. Si Qian. Assassin. Lightning. He quickly analyzed the situation. Although things were still unclear, the priority was to deal with this nuisance first. Lightning assassin. Flash step. A surge of electricity coursed through his body. Lightning blade, condensing electric current into a sharp edge. A group of Tongxiao charged at him like a storm. Si Qian did not retreat. He dashed past one of them in a blur. One of the Tongxiao's fangs snapped off and flew into the air. With his current strength, dealing with these E-rank monsters was more than manageable. Tongxiao Fang times 3 obtained. Everything felt real. This was no dream. Experience plus 5-2. Status panel updated. Level up. Level 2. Si Qian. Assassin. Lightning. The most important thing was that he could gain experience and level up here. All attributes increased by 5 points. Si Qian had somehow obtained a dungeon he could farm alone. He glanced at the Tongxiao behind him. In that case, he would train here properly. As he continued attacking, the mechanical voice rang out repeatedly. Experience plus 320. Level up. Level 3. Assassin. Lightning. Si Qian. 18 Tongxiao Fangs. 1 Tongxiao Crystal. He was leveling up at a frightening speed. The experience from a leader monster was several times that of ordinary mobs of the same rank. In just a short time, he had already gained 2 levels. The status panel displayed. Devour available. His eyes filled with shock. Devour? What did that mean? A thought suddenly surfaced. Could it be? The meaning of the Devour power was. The status bar continued. Devouring. Si Qian clenched his hand around that faint light. Status panel. Tongxiao King. Warrior. Cloud. Frost physique. Immunity to cold. The absorbed demonic beast has been converted into a card. He could kill a target, devour it, and turn it into his own class. His gaze froze. The surrounding space suddenly became distorted. This feeling, it was just like the past. Panic surged within him. The power of the Blue Moon Demon King? The Devour ability originally belonged to the Demon King. Yet it had been taken by Si Qian. Classes were inherently ranked by strength. And each person could only possess one class in their lifetime. But now, he held 2 classes simultaneously. No, if he could devour other demonic beasts, then he could obtain countless classes. Why did he possess such power? And what was this demonic tower behind him? Suddenly, overwhelming sounds filled the air, and a terrifying pressure descended. What was this immense aura? A voice echoed. You've finally come. I've been waiting for you for a long time. The system identified. Lord. He called out calmly. Si Qian. The government classified awakened and demonic beings into ranks based on combat power. EDCBAS in his previous life. Si Qian had nearly died reaching rank S now. His maximum combat power was only rank D, yet before him stood an S rank boss. The gap was enormous. The opponent completely surpassed him in every attribute. What kind of dungeon was this? Why was there an S rank monster here? And why did it know his name? They exchanged dozens of blows. During that time, the Lord had countless chances to kill him outright. Each attack was lethal, yet always avoided his vital points, merely knocking him down again and again. The Lord looked at him indifferently. Still struggling? Si Qian understood. He wanted to subdue him. You should reconsider the offer I gave you. Stay here and guard this demonic tower with me. It's a rare opportunity. Si Qian replied coldly. No matter what, I will never stay in this hellhole. At that instant, a sword slashed toward him. Everything happened too fast. The Lord said calmly, do you really think I spared you because I can't kill you? You're simply the only one who can reach this place. Monsters slowly crawled out of the swamp. I'll ask you one last time. Power surged. System. Stamina increased. Stay here, or I'll grind you into minced meat. Killing intent exploded from Si Qian. Gritting his teeth, he answered, I choose. Then he burst forward like a violent storm. To kill you. The Lord sneered. Ridiculous. The battlefield descended into chaos. From their previous exchanges, Si Qian had observed something. Before every slash, there was a 0.4 second wind up. He could use that window to analyze the angle of force from the wrist and predict the blade's trajectory to dodge. More importantly, after each strike, there was a 0.2 second recovery. Only by exploiting that opening could he land a decisive blow. Lightning blade, condensing electricity into a blade, shot forward and pierced the Lord's heart. Though rank D could not kill rank S, the full force paralysis effect would immobilize him for several seconds. His opponent was too fast. There had been no time to create distance earlier. Flash step. Electricity surged violently through his body. Those few seconds were enough for escape. Throughout the battle, Si Qian had been observing. In the darkness, there had only been one source of light. He reached toward that faint glow. Just as his fingers nearly touched it, the light vanished. The Lord approached and said lightly, "Unfortunately, that was only an illusion I left behind. The exit you're searching for does not exist. This place isn't a dungeon at all. However, you identified the weakness in my attacks very quickly. Interesting. Even under overwhelming despair, you calmly analyzed the situation and risked everything for a sliver of hope. You truly are someone who can bring hope." Si Shane's eyes widened in shock. That expression, he had seen it before on the Blue Moon Demon King. It was in his previous life. The final battle between him and Lan Yu. Luo Sha's eyes flashed, his entire body seeming to turn into ice. During the battle, he had switched between countless powerful professions. Si Chen leapt up and kicked his opponent hard. The other was no less formidable, transforming in response to counterattack. While Luo Sha was gathering energy, Si Chen had already run far away. Si Chen turned his head to look back, and he clearly remembered one of those forms. Another shape of his appeared. Like a demon crawling out of hell, it was exactly this appearance. Above Luo Sha's head radiated a strange purple light. In other words, he had once been devoured by Lan Yu's power of gluttony, and now that very power had merged into Si Chen's body. Si Chen was briefly stunned. Could it be that this place? As if realizing something, his voice grew louder. It was inside his own body. Luo Sha let out a cold laugh. "Not only are your combat abilities outstanding, but your mind is exceptionally sharp. You deserve to obtain everything here." Si Chen repeated in confusion. "Everything here?" He took out the Time Rift key and explained. "This is the key to the Demon Tower. Lan Yu devoured countless ferocious demons. The strongest among them have all been sealed inside the tower behind us. Devour them, grow stronger without end, and turn them all into your power." A notification panel appeared. Time Rift key obtained. Si Chen held the key in bewilderment. "Why are you doing this? Why do you want to help me?" Luo Sha calmly replied. "Even among the demon race, there is righteousness and evil. Those demon kings slaughtered all my clansmen for their selfish interests. I have been waiting for a chance to take revenge. Fortunately, I finally met you. That person was right. You are the only hope. Only you can succeed." Si Chen became even more uneasy. "That person? Who is it?" Luo Sha did not answer and gradually began to fade. "The answer lies within the Demon Tower. Go find it yourself." Before completely disappearing, Luo Sha added, "Take my power and seek revenge against them." Si Chen stared wide-eyed as he vanished. "Take your power?" Luo Sha roared. "From now on, you must become stronger. Open the gate of the Demon Tower and devour everything inside it. The demons there will not show you mercy like I did. They are the most cunning and vicious creatures in the world." Hearing this felt like an invisible boulder pressing down on Si Chen. "But you must endure everything. You must defeat them all. You must stand at the peak of the world." Gathering all his strength, Luo Sha shouted one last time. "In the end, wipe out every single one of those demon kings." His voice gradually faded. "Only someone like that is worthy of wielding my power." With that, his body completely disappeared. The purple light from Luo Sha flew into Si Chen's palm. After devouring it, Si Chen leveled up to level 10 and also obtained Luo Sha's infernal bone. Lowering his eyes, he said softly, "I understand. I will carry your will with me." He looked at the system panel, which displayed all the information about Luo Sha Purgatory. After reading through it, Si Chen continued, "I will make them repay blood with blood." Warm sunlight shone through the window. A shout startled him awake. "Hurry up! Get up!" Si Chen jolted upright in panic. Shang Tai and Shang Yu were hurriedly preparing their things. "Move quickly. Don't be late. We have to wear school uniforms today." Looking at the two of them, Si Chen thought, "Have I returned to the dormitory?" He lifted his shirt to examine his body. All his wounds had healed. Could everything before have been just a dream? He opened the system panel to verify it, but it proved that everything had truly happened. Moreover, all the spoils obtained in the dream had materialized. After a whole night's effort, "I've reached level 10. What rank does that correspond to?" Shang Tai suddenly appeared in front of him. "Hey, Si Chen." He bent down and smirked. "Someone praised you last night. You've become stronger." "Huh? You're even shaking my position as the best in the dorm." Ma Long stood to the side. Observing silently, Shang Tai frowned. "Let's go. The rank assessment is about to begin." Ignoring him, Si Chen remained silent. "Let me see what you're really made of." Shang Tai took a big bite of bread. The four walked together, but only Shang Tai kept talking. Our dormitory is probably all rank E, but each rank is divided into 3 tiers. You guys are just lower tier E while I'm mid-tier E. The difference between each tier is several times in strength. Against people like you, I could fight 10 at once. He grew more excited. Maybe after 2 years without testing. My rank has already increased. Ma Long leaned closer and whispered. Hey, Si Chen, later you have to show all your strength. Use rank D to scare him. Si Chen's eyes flickered thoughtfully. Rank D? They quickly arrived at the assembly hall. Shang Tai was stunned. A large screen displayed. National Awakeners University, rank assessment ceremony. He muttered. Why is everyone so early? Zhang Bai's entrance drew attention. Move aside. Don't touch me. It was the lackeys of Gong Cheng. Seeing his fierce look, they were frightened, though Shang Tai turned pale. He forced himself to act tough. What are you looking at? Si Chen stood quietly, glancing at them. Zhang Bai and his underlings stiffened. He quickly bowed. Brother Si Chen, you're here. Someone wondered why they were so respectful. Ma Long snorted. What did I tell you before? Si Chen said nothing and walked away. A voice called out. Zhang Di stepped forward to block his path. I heard someone clashed with Gong Cheng yesterday. Do you know he's the younger brother of Lord Gong Ting, the respected president of our student council? 3 people watched nervously. That's Zhang Di, a student council officer. He's a rank D big shot. Why is he connected to Si Chen? Why does the atmosphere feel off? Zhang Di sniffed. My senses are sharp. I can smell a true powerhouse. But on you, there's only the stench of poverty from a lifetime at the bottom of society. He suddenly spoke up, making the atmosphere even more tense. Are you a dog? Zhang Di flew into a rage and shouted. What did you say? From afar, someone approached. Zhang Di, stop. Gong Ting stepped forward with a composed demeanor. I've already investigated the situation. This matter was Gong Cheng's fault first. If you do wrong, you pay the price. That's only fair. Hearing this, Zhang Di bent deeply. Understood, President. Gong Ting's gaze swept around silently. Si Chen met that gaze just as quietly. From the stands above, a loud voice echoed throughout the area. Students, attention, the rank assessment is about to begin. We will proceed according to student ID order. When your name is called, please come to the stage in an orderly manner. Upon hearing this, Gong Ting turned and left. Let's go prepare for the assessment. This Si Chen doesn't look threatening at all. Zhang Di hurried after him excitedly. Yes, high above, a figure stood watching everything. The person beside her spoke first. What brings you here to watch the rank assessment today? Found someone worthwhile? Ling Wu held a teacup and smiled. This test might be very interesting. An hour later, the loudspeaker rang out. Next student for rank assessment. Shang Tai. Cheers erupted below. Go for it, Shang Tai. Standing before the crowd, Shang Tai felt a little nervous. Let's see what my true strength really is. He raised his arm and passed through the gate, quickly stepping into another space. The rank assessment was conducted individually inside a specially designed demon cave. Within the cave was a demon core capable of absorbing energy. The awakened had to release all their energy before the demon core. Shang Tai unleashed his power fiercely, causing it to explode. The energy sensed by the demon core was transmitted outside through cables. The gate that had been blue turned red, and sounds from inside echoed outward. Finally, the energy was displayed on the screen as data. The teachers above examined the numbers. Mid-tier rank E record completed. Other data not yet released? Below, Ma Long said excitedly. It's out. Now comes the most important part. Besides current rank, it could also measure another value, potential. The highest rank the profession could achieve in the future. Those with high potential were very likely to receive special attention from the nation. The board's text flickered rapidly before stopping. Potential. CA mechanical voice announced. Assessment complete. Current rank. Mid-tier E highest potential. C. Shang Tai walked out dejectedly. Looks like my rank hasn't improved in 2 years. I thought I'd reach rank D. The teacher called the next student. Ma Long comforted him. Relax, Shang Tai. We're worse off. You're not the only one who didn't reach rank D, aren't we all the same? This school doesn't have many rank D students. Maybe this year there won't be any. The 3 of them were all lower tier rank E with potential C except Shang Tai, who was mid-tier E suddenly. The machine's voice interrupted. Assessment complete. Current rank. Lower tier rank D highest potential, B. The entire hall erupted. The first rank D of the year has appeared. Shortly after, Zhang Ting walked out smugly. Assessment complete. Current rank. Lower tier rank D, highest potential, A. Ma Long slapped his forehead and wailed, while Shang Tai repeatedly banged his head against the wall. That's already the 8th rank D. Two teachers discussed quietly. So many rank D talents this year. Though all lower tier, that's excellent for students without real combat experience. Indeed, normally, a graduating class has at most 2 or 3 rank D students. At this rate, this year's graduation test will be very interesting. Leather shoes echoed crisply. Next student for rank assessment. Gong Ting. He stepped forward, adjusting his tie. Students murmured in awe. Finally, it's him, the student council president, the young master of the Imperial Guild, chosen by heaven with countless titles. Si Chen remained silent and thoughtful. As Gong Ting entered the gate, whispers continued outside. He was only rank D 2 years ago. The highest recorded in this cohort so far is lower tier rank D. The highest in school history is mid-tier rank D. I wonder how far he'll go. Inside, the demon core lay sleeping with eyes closed. Its long lashes trembled as it slowly opened them. Gong Ting approached and raised his hand. Only by revealing full strength during the graduation combat test could he create the greatest impact. For now, he needed to restrain part of his power. Even so, he would still stand at the top of the school's history. Outside, the rank and potential values flickered rapidly, and the potential color shifted from white to gold. A teacher gasped softly. That color is. The display froze. Rank. Upper tier D potential. S. The students exploded into chaos. Upper tier rank D, and S tier peak potential. Zhang Di and his group stared wide-mouthed. Number 1 record holder in school history. Long live the president, Ma Long shouted in shock. Our school actually produced someone with S-tier potential. We've witnessed history. Shang Tai hugged Shang Yu dramatically. So jealous. The teachers gathered urgently. Confirmed result. Upper tier rank D, S-tier potential. Should we notify higher authorities directly? Of course. Gong Ting stepped out amid thunderous praise. An awakened with S-tier potential was a rare treasure in the entire world and would receive special protection and attention from the state. Let alone the fact that he was the young master of the Imperial Guild. This news would surely make national headlines. He smiled in satisfaction at his results. From above, Yuan Long spoke approvingly. Today's test truly produced a talent. Yuan Long glanced sideways. You already knew Gong Ting was an S-tier candidate, didn't you? No wonder you came to watch. Ling Wu denied it. No, I didn't come because of him. Yuan Long exclaimed in surprise. She looked into her teacup and said slowly. Compared to Gong Ting, I'm more interested in his performance. Si Chen lowered his head, waiting for the teacher's call. He looked up when he heard his name. Next student for rank assessment. Si Chen. Zhang Di sneered at him. Kid, you'd better try your best to bring glory to our dorm. He laughed loudly, treating Si Chen like a joke. When your result comes out later, don't let it be lower tier rank E, otherwise. Our dorm will have 4 rank E students from low to mid tier. Number 1 in the whole school? What a joke. Zhang Di looked at the 4 of them mockingly. You weaklings, if you join the graduation combat test, you'll only embarrass yourselves. Ma Long stammered in protest. Just wait. Si Chen will definitely make you open your eyes. Without a word, Si Chen quietly stepped through the gate. Shang Yu watched him anxiously. Can he really do it? Inside the gate, Si Chen slowly approached the demon core. It jolted in surprise when it saw him. In this era, the best path for the awakened to develop was to join a high-level guild. For most, the only chance to prove themselves before such guilds was the graduation combat test. Up to 10 people could form a team freely. The winning team would have all members directly recruited by the top Imperial Guild nationwide. Thus, this assessment was not only to determine rank but also of extreme importance. Zhang Di slung an arm around someone beside him, laughing. Boss, this is Yan Lin. Lower tier rank D. Now our 10-man team is complete. All 9 rank D students this year are in our squad. Once Gong Cheng joins too, we'll definitely take first place in the graduation combat test. This was team selection for the graduation test. In such circumstances, the strongest team would inevitably form. The strong would unite, the weak would be excluded and eliminated, an unchanging law of survival. Ma Long nervously adjusted his glasses. How long has Si Chen been inside? He stared at the gate. Why is there no movement? Others mocked. Maybe he's too weak to even register a rank. The test is basically over. Let's go back to the dorm. Zhang Di waved dismissively. The rest are trash anyway. No need to wait. Our team is complete. Let's go find a karaoke bar. Gong Ting nodded lightly and called his members over. At that moment, the displayboard's rank text flickered rapidly, then stopped. The letter D appeared clearly. With upper tier beneath it, the students stared in shock. Ma Long pointed and shouted, "Upper tier rank D. Look, I told you, I wasn't wrong." Zhang Di turned abruptly. "Upper tier rank D?" A mechanical voice announced. "Current assessment result. Upper tier rank D program detects instability in the demon core. Result may be inaccurate. Candidate requested to retest." Inside, Si Chen glanced at the data. Earlier, he had used only his base body without switching professions. It seemed level 10 base strength equaled upper tier rank D. A blue light glowed in his hand. Profession switching. Notification. Profession change complete. Si Chen transformed into Tang Xiao Wang. "Let me test my weakest current profession." The screen blurred and refreshed. Rank. Mid-tier C. Gasps erupted. What's going on? His rank increased again? Zhang Di's face turned pale. Rank C? Impossible. Something's wrong. Even the teachers were stunned. Why did the rank change again? I've never seen this before. Is the system malfunctioning? The machine repeated. Demon core unstable. Result may be inaccurate. Candidate requested to retest. Si Chen calculated silently. If so, his remaining two professions must both exceed rank C. He switched again, this time into Lianyu Luo Sha. Let's test my maximum strength. The demon core's eyes flew open in terror. Sweat soaking its body. The sky darkened. A vortex formed overhead. Thunder and violent winds surged. Zhang Di shouted, "What's happening?" Shang Yu clasped his hands calmly. "A heavenly phenomenon. Today will be recorded in history. Our dorm may produce a world-shaking figure." The board updated again. Potential shifted. Gold S appeared. An elderly professor shouted in shock. "Another S-tier potential." Gong Ting froze. Then the gold blurred into red with a shrill alarm. Red devoured the display. Warning. System error. Multiple S symbols flashed. Potential score cannot be measured. Exceeds maximum system capacity. Zhang Di screamed, eyes nearly popping out. The gate suddenly exploded. Teachers rushed in. The demon core overloaded. "Hurry." Inside, they froze. The demon core lay sprawled. Eyes half open. It was dead. After checking, they sat stunned. Meanwhile, Si Chen walked out quietly. Was it because he used it too long today? A notification hovered before him. Devour successful. Linglong Demon Core. Rank A. The power of gluttony had devoured the demon core's strength. So gluttony could even consume a demon core. A pleasant surprise. As Si Chen stepped out, light from the gate shone over him. His eyes flashed. Linglong Demon Core. Activate. Instantly, he could see everyone's rank. Convenient. His gaze paused above one head, Gong Ting. Mid-tier rank C. So Gong Ting had concealed his true strength. Mid-tier C. Nothing special. The two teachers hurried out, making excuses. Unfortunately, the demon core likely overexerted itself and died suddenly. Today's assessment must end here. Si Chen's data may be inaccurate. We will report this to higher authorities. Unassessed students may return tomorrow when we prepare new equipment. His three roommates rushed over, hugging him. I don't care. The data must be correct. Si Chen is a genius. A great figure. What should we eat to celebrate? Zhang Di approached mockingly. I said it. How could a loser like you reach rank C? Even S-tier potential? Obviously the device malfunctioned. He shouted. You broke the demon core and just want to leave? Isn't that irresponsible? You delayed everyone else's assessment. Can you compensate for wasted time? Si Chen remained silent, his fingers curling slightly as golden light flickered like electricity. He glanced at Zhang Di thoughtfully. This person will never stop. Should I cripple him? Gong Ting stepped forward, face dark. Zhang Di, step back. Don't treat our teammate unreasonably. Zhang Di stammered, retreating. Captain. Gong Ting smiled warmly at Si Chen. Join my team. Let's participate in the graduation combat test together. The highest score in history will surely be ours. Si Chen silently looked at him. At the outstretched invitation, Ma Long stood outside and whispered. Gong Ting actually personally invited Si Qian to join the team. Zhang Di gritted his teeth and thought to himself. If this guy joins, we'll have to kick someone out. How am I supposed to explain this to the brothers? Joining Gong Ting's team basically guarantees first place in the graduation exam. So many people couldn't get in even with bribes. What does he have to rely on? His hand trembled as he raised it. But since Gong Ting had personally spoken, Zhang Di forced himself to endure it and placed a hand on Si Shane's shoulder. I can't refuse to give him face. With a stiff smile, he said, if that's the case, then welcome to the team. Si Qian brushed his hand away and replied coldly, not interested. Zhang Di stared at Si Qian in disbelief at the rejection. Even Gong Ting frowned slightly in surprise. Zhang Di roared angrily, you brat, do you even know what you're saying? Our team is number 1 in the entire school. Si Qian turned away indifferently. That has nothing to do with me. A flash of red light flickered in Si Shane's eyes with overwhelming pressure. You're too noisy. Don't bother me again. Seeing him leave, Ma Long hurried after him. Let's go. Zhang Di was so furious he felt like spitting fire as he glared at Si Shane's back. The other students were also shaken. Si Qian actually refused Gong Ting? Did he really have the guts? That was the student council president. Si Qian walked on thoughtfully, ignoring the whispers. He wants to take first place by himself? After all, his test result was only mid-tier rank C. Looks like there's a good show to watch. Hang Yu walked beside him, whispering with a grin. Did you see their expressions? They looked ready to kill. They were so arrogant just now. Si Qian is really brave. Gong Ting remained calm instead of angry. It's fine. Seems like this brother Si Qian has his own ideas. The 4 of them quickly left, leaving the noisy hall behind. Yuan Long, standing above, sighed. What a pity. The 2 of them couldn't form a team. I was hoping a new record might be set this year. Ling Yu crossed her arms and smiled. Isn't this more interesting? Gong Ting was born with a golden spoon. This rejection is a direct declaration of war. Only then did Gong Ting's expression truly change. Our president is not someone easy to deal with. Zhang Di was still cursing resentfully. The test must have had an error for him to stand out. Does he really think he's rank C? Gong Ting said coldly. What if there was no mistake? Even if the probability is 1 in 100 million, I will never allow anyone else to take my first place. Zhang Di lowered his voice. No matter what, he's just a student without real combat experience. We've followed you into demon caves countless times. How about I teach him a lesson for you? Gong Ting stepped forward and looked at Zhang Di. In your eyes, am I that petty? Startled, Zhang Di quickly replied, no, that's not what I meant. Gong Ting put his hands in his pockets and walked away. I'm not in the mood for karaoke today. Arrange things yourselves. He glanced back, his eyes dark and glinting. Whatever you do has nothing to do with me. Zhang Di watched him leave in silence, then laughed crazily as if he understood something. I understand. It won't have anything to do with you at all. More than 10 minutes later, Zhang Di sat on the stairs and said, you said Si Qian isn't at school? Zhang Bai quickly replied, yes. Brother Zhang, I overheard that Si Qian said he was going home. He left before even eating. Zhang Di stomped on an empty can. Even the heavens are helping me. He revealed a sinister smile. Outside the school, it'll be easier for me to deal with him. Meanwhile, Si Qian walked leisurely, thinking about the past. In his previous life, a top guild raided a demon cave within the territory of Shanghai Kingdom. An accident occurred. Inside, they encountered an unprecedented powerful demon. Its eyes shone with blinding fury. Bao Nu. The entire top guild was wiped out. Bao Nu stepped out of the cave and descended upon the human world. That was all the information Si Qian had known. In this life, to quickly determine the exact location of the cave where Bao Nu resided, he had made a plan. To carry it out, Si Qian arrived at the entrance of a trading center. He needed a large sum of money. Beneath the Silver Secret Guild was the Silver Secret Demon Trading Exchange. In the future, it would become the largest material trading center in the country. Weapons and equipment were the key factors determining an awakened strength, and the Demon Trading Exchange was the essential hub for buying and selling gear. It was also the fastest way for him to earn money right now. A pair of fangs was placed on the table. Xiao Chang picked them up and examined them. Student, where did you get this? Dropped from a demon beast. Si Qian replied briefly. Xiao Li spoke up. If I remember correctly, this is from a cloud-type rank E demon beast. Tang Xiao. Its fang can be forged into a rank E cloud staff or ground into powder. Xiao Chang tossed it back down. Alright, enough lecturing. What can a rank E item even make? He sneered. Our exchange serves VIP clients, awakened individuals of status. Everything I sell is high-end. Rank D and above. It's normal I don't know about such low-tier stuff. Thinking to himself that high-end customers had been scarce lately, Xiao Chang sighed and turned away. Xiao Li, handle the rest. Do well, I'm counting on you. Flustered, she bowed. Yes. She handed over a black envelope. Here is your payment. Do you need anything else? Si Qian glanced at it silently. 18,000. Enough for rent for now. He raised his hand and produced another item. A sharp greatsword appeared. Help me look at this. Xiao Li gasped. A greatsword, so cool. I haven't seen it before. But it must be at least rank B, maybe even rank A. Xiao Chang cut in. Rank A? What are you thinking? Rank A weapons cost 1 million. You've worked here for years and never even touched one. A figure entered from outside. He's right. This isn't rank B or rank A. Xiao Chang smirked. As expected of the boss, sharp eyes. I said it already. How could this poor student have anything good? Qingji adjusted his glasses and stepped forward. This clearly comes from hell. It's rank S. Both of them froze in shock. Rank S? Qingji immediately grasped Si Shane's hand and smiled brightly. Welcome, honored guest. He stepped aside respectfully. Please follow me to the VIP room. Whatever you need, just tell me. Si Qian glanced at him with a faint smile. You finally showed up. Qingji, smiling. Qingji walked beside him. His true identity was the owner of the Silver Secret Guild Group. Inside Qingji's private office, a cup of steaming tea had already been poured. Si Qian and Qingji sat facing each other. Qingji spoke first. May I ask, honored guest, what plans do you have for this piece of equipment? Si Qian replied calmly and concisely. 1 million. Qingji was surprised. Only 1 million? You should know that rank A equipment on the market already costs several million. A rank S weapon like this is worth at least tens of millions. Thousands would fight over it. It's practically priceless. Si Qian corrected him. I want to use this rank S weapon as collateral to borrow 1 million. I'll redeem it in 1 month. Qingji was astonished. Using a rank S weapon as collateral, was that really something a university student would think of? So he doesn't want to sell it, he plans to use it himself in the future? A mind far more mature than his age, and capable of obtaining such a treasure, was he a runaway rich second-generation heir? Or a super genius hiding his strength? Either way, this person was definitely not simple. Si Qian continued, just 1 month. When the time comes, I'll repay the money immediately. Plus 10% interest. How about it? Hearing this request, Qingji ordered, Xiao Li, step outside for a moment. Then he analyzed. If I'm not mistaken, the school you attend should be the National Awakened University, and you're likely a 4th-year student about to graduate. As far as I know, the university holds a graduation practical combat exam every year. This year's exam happens in 1 month. And coincidentally, the first place prize is exactly 1 million. The amount matches perfectly with what you want to borrow. He curled his lips slightly. Let me boldly guess, you're certain you'll take first place. Qingji stood up. You could receive the prize money in a month. Yet you're urgently pawning something so valuable to borrow money now. That means you desperately need the money at this very moment. And you must have been driven into a corner to resort to this method. Correct? After a pause, he made his decision. In that case, I can lend you 1.5 million immediately. Interest-free for 1 month. He extended his hand toward Si Qian. Consider it my way of making a friend. Si Qian was momentarily stunned by the sudden offer. Seeing this, Qingji blinked reassuringly. Rest assured, I will keep everything today confidential. However, if you have any future transaction needs, please consider using our exchange first. I'll offer you the best possible rates. What do you think? Si Qian inwardly admired him. With just a bit of information, he had deduced his background and needs, truly intelligent. Even after realizing his financial urgency, instead of taking advantage of him, he offered even better terms to seek long-term cooperation. No wonder in the future he would turn the Silver Secret Exchange into the #1 trading platform in the world. If he wanted to eliminate Bao Nu, he couldn't rely on his own strength alone. He needed to find trustworthy partners. After reaching an agreement, a magic circle was summoned. Qingji happily held the contract. The magic contract is complete. The funds have been transferred to your account. Si Qian glanced at his phone with satisfaction. Qingji asked curiously, You've pawned such a fine weapon. What will you use for the graduation exam? Do you need me to lend you some equipment? We may not have rank S, but we do have plenty of high-grade rank B and even rank A gear. Si Qian politely declined. No need. With a flick of his hand, he summoned an identical weapon. I have another one just like the previous. Everyone present blurted out in shock. Changji stammered as he escorted Si Qian out. A hero truly emerges from youth. Honored guest, please take care, he immediately praised. Fortunately Xiao Li retained such a distinguished guest. Promote her to manager at once. Suddenly Si Qian paused as if remembering something. Oh, right. He turned back decisively. I want to buy something. A while later, Si Qian stepped out of a taxi. He was now at the long-distance bus station of Shangchong County. He recalled that in his previous life, financial hardship had plagued them for a long time. Back then, he had just graduated and had not awakened, so no guild was willing to accept him. He did all kinds of odd jobs just to pay the rent. With a balance of 105.6, he and Ti Yun could only live as frugally as possible. The admission notice from the International Zhangyue Arts Academy, Si Yun had crumpled the acceptance letter in her hands. She had passed again, but it was too far away. I just want to stay with you, she had said, afraid of becoming a burden to the family. His younger sister had even given up her dream of attending high school. Now, Si Qian paced back and forth anxiously. It was getting late. Shouldn't Xiao Yun have been here already? Suddenly, Xiao Yun's voice sounded from behind. Shay, how many times have I told you? If you're picking someone up, you wait at the exit, not the entrance. Si Yun ran over, dragging her suitcase. You've been too busy and confused again, haven't you? Si Shane's eyes widened as he looked at the sister he had failed to save in his previous life. She complained. Shay, why aren't you helping carry the luggage? Si Yun stepped closer. Shay, why are you spacing out? Si Qian suddenly pulled her tightly into his arms. She froze, not understanding what was happening. A relieved smile appeared on his face. 7 years, I finally see her again. Xiao Yun, she struggled to break free. Si Yun poked him in the ribs. Are you trying to suffocate me? She tossed her bag to him. Shay, you've been acting weird these past 2 days. Did some girl reject your confession or something? He hurriedly denied it. No, she urged. Then hurry up, let's go home. The two of them walked hand in hand. She chatted nonstop. Oh right, this exam was super hard. Let me tell you, looking at his innocent little sister, Si Qian smiled gently. In this life, I will never let you suffer any grievance again. In an alley, a group of people gathered, including Minister Zhang Di. Many members of the student council were present. If we go too far, wouldn't that be? Someone hesitated. Zhang Di frowned. I only meant to teach him a small lesson. But that brat's attitude is really unbearable. How dare an E-rank bottom feeder think he's C-rank and step over my head? He recalled Si Shane's disdainful gaze. You're too noisy. Don't bother me again. He gave the order. So later, beat him until he's half dead. I'm going to cripple him. I'll make sure he can't take the graduation exam in 2 weeks. I'm one of the top cloud-type assassins in this entire school. Just wait. You show-off brat. Meanwhile, Si Qian and Si Yun were still on their way home. Si Yun was suspicious. Second brother, you've been acting strange lately. Is it because of the pressure from the graduation exam? After all, a repeater like him shouldn't be so easily troubled by emotions. She comforted him. No matter what, you have to pull yourself together. Didn't you once tell me that life is long and opportunities will come sooner or later? She kept talking. What was that song again? Believe in yourself. Si Qian smiled faintly. Tiao Yun was truly perceptive. She sensed the difference the moment they met. She didn't know he had awakened, so she thought they were still living the same frugal life as before. He reassured her. I'm really fine, Tiao Yun. But she was still doubtful. Was he still putting on a brave front for the sake of a man's pride? Men begin to build walls around themselves at a certain age. The books were right after all. It seemed her big brother had reached that age. In the alley, a shadow had been following the siblings all along. One of Zhang Di's lackeys spoke up. Minister, that brat even has a younger sister with him. Zhang Di revealed a sly smile. Isn't that perfect? There are no cameras in this alley. Brothers, you're in luck this time. Immediately, Si Qian sensed the danger with his sharp instincts, this aura. He quickly recognized the group behind him. They were from the student council. Si Qian sighed. They actually dared to follow me here. He slowly took out a pair of headphones and gently placed them over Si Yun's ears. Calmly, he said, Tiao Yun, there's a song I really like. I've been listening to it over and over lately. Give it a listen. She was slightly surprised. Since when did you start liking music? The song began to play. And she listened attentively. That was good. Music could convey a person's state of mind. While she was immersed in the song, he turned around. Si-yun had no idea what was happening. Then let me help you understand me a little better. Little sister. Si-chien calmly walked toward the student council members. Thanks to the skills he had previously acquired, their stats appeared clearly before his eyes. The song continued to play, rusted colors reflecting the shadows of birds. The sky shattering in the echo of farewell. As the song reached its climax, Si-shane's silent battle with the student council began. He gathered energy into his hand. In his previous life, in the year 2160, he had lost his last remaining family member. It wasn't until 2167 that he was reborn and returned. Finally reuniting with his sister, his entire body became enveloped in a massive surge of lightning energy. This was the first time in 7 years he had been reunited with family. He charged forward in a flash. And you dare come here to cause trouble? With a single powerful kick, one of them was sent flying. His face twisted. Another panicked at how easily his companion had been blown away. The song continued, discarded devices turning into specimens, ruined remnants transforming into lush green peaks. Meanwhile, Si-chien kept attacking relentlessly. One by one, they were effortlessly knocked down. The song went on, just like his battle, a meteor streaking across the brilliant Milky Way. One person rushed forward to attack Si-chien just after he had taken another down. As the lyrics sang, I reach out desperately, Si-chien grabbed the attacker's arm at the same time and snapped the bone with a vicious move. The song aligned perfectly with reality. The man screamed, my hand. Before he could finish, another punch drove his face inward. With just one strike, Si-chien created a massive shockwave in the air. As the song neared its end, I will do everything in my power to protect that fragile star. Zhang Di finally panicked. What the hell is wrong with this brat? Si-chien charged forward, leaving Zhang Di stunned. How is he so strong? Another punch landed, and yet another person fell. Gradually, Si-chien moved closer and closer to Zhang Di after taking down nearly all his subordinates. Soon, he dashed straight toward him. Zhang Di stammered, I'm a top-tier cloud-type assassin. He tried to fight back in vain. You think I can't beat you? But before he could do anything, Si-chien threw a punch that twisted Zhang Di's neck violently. He was sent flying, shoes scattering. Not sparing him, Si-chien rushed forward again and delivered another punch straight to his jaw. Warping his face, blow after blow rained down mercilessly, leaving Zhang Di's face grotesquely deformed. His eyes rolling back, his teeth shattered. He was flung away, tumbling across the ground before crashing down hard. Dirt and stones scattering everywhere. Zhang Di barely managed to open his eyes. Si-shane's figure loomed over him like a demon. His blood-red eyes slowly approached. Si-chien sneered, I clearly told you not to provoke me. He glared down at him. Do you not understand human language? He could only think in agony. All my bones are broken. I can't even feel my legs anymore. The test results were real. Si-chien was absolutely not D rank. He stammered, sorry. Si-chien had no intention of letting him off. Shut up. Say one more word and I'll end you. Zhang Di fell into despair. His eyes, they weren't lying. He really would dare to kill him. Trembling, he looked at the monster before him. He was clearly just a student, so why was his killing intent so overwhelming? Just what kind of background did he have? Si-chien glared down at him. Every word I say next. You'd better remember it clearly. You rotten trash can stink all you want. But don't ever bother me again. If you dare threaten my sister's safety again, no. Even if you so much as appear in her line of sight. Si-shane's blade slid across the corner of Zhang Di's mouth. For every one of you, I'll make you disappear permanently. Understand? In pain, Zhang Di could only nod frantically. Si-chien turned around, tossed the knife away, and left Zhang Di trembling in fear. The song Si-yun was listening to was nearing its end. When the migratory birds returned and the sky turned blue again, tears unknowingly streamed down her face. It felt so lonely. She listened to every lyric. The calendar will no longer fade. Under the dawn I cannot see my own back. She wondered, why does this song make me want to cry? It's only been a few days. Why does he act as if he has gone through so much? Is he really that lonely? Haven't I always been by his side? She decisively turned around. Brother, this act of yours is really annoying. Si-chien was already standing behind her, holding a gift box. Gently, he handed it to her. Tiao Yun. This is for you. Her eyes lit up. This is a Mana alloy pen. It's the newest model released by the Bullied group. Holding the pen, she was shocked. This costs tens of thousands. Where did you get the money? While Tiao Yun stared at the expensive pen in confusion, Si Qian clenched his blood-stained fist behind his back. In his previous life, I couldn't protect you well. I even failed to protect your dream. In this life, after beating those student council scum into hiding in a corner, I will protect everything of yours. At home, Si Yun began using the pen. Every stroke she drew gradually turned into a three-dimensional projection. This is amazing. It can create holograms out of thin air. She exclaimed happily. Si Qian responded while eating noodles. As long as Tiao Yun likes it. As expected, Tiao Yun's egg noodles are still the best. She was still worried, but we still have to pay rent. You're spending money like this. Si Qian reassured her. I've already paid this year's rent in full. She was stunned. He quickly explained. I did a bit of business with a close friend and made some money. But the lie didn't fool Si Yun. Brother is terrible at lying. So suspicious. Now he even has secrets from me. Yet her eyes softened. She looked at her smiling brother. It had been a long time since she had seen such a happy expression on his face. After thinking for a moment, she gently placed her hand on his shoulder and sat beside him. No matter what you've gone through, don't force yourself, okay? Seeing her understanding, Si Qian nodded gently. Elsewhere, a familiar voice spoke. Zhongdi's injuries are severe this time. 60% of his bones are shattered. Gong Ting stood before a massive aquarium. Even the best healers won't be able to fully restore him within a month. I didn't expect him to actually seek out Si Qian and end up like this. Ling Yu, sitting on a chair, remarked. Looks like he'll miss the graduation exam. Gong Ting said indifferently. It doesn't matter. My team just lost a useless member with mediocre skills. As they spoke, another person approached Gong Ting. Gong Zan, director of the Career Development Office at the National Awakened University, said, It's that Si Qian again. I've confirmed the internal rank assessment results. He's truly C rank, the only one in the school with a rank higher than yours. Hearing this, Gong Ting's expression flickered slightly as he glanced at him. Gong Zan continued, This time, your father has invited the vice chairman of the alliance to personally watch your graduation performance. We cannot allow anyone to steal your spotlight. But unfortunately, I can only have my niece fill the remaining spot in your palace team. Gong Ting lowered his voice. Uncle, you're overthinking it. Do they really think I used my full strength during the assessment? Just wait until the live combat exam. I'll let everyone know who the strongest truly is. Scene shift to the dormitory. 11 p.m. Male dormitory of the National Awakened University. Si Qian was showering. He calculated silently. 100 weighted training sets today, completed. Financial issues for now are resolved. Everything is going smoothly. After graduation, I can begin the official plan. The next task is to win the 1 million prize from the graduation exam and repay Chengji's debt. A contract with Chengji must be honored. I'll still need his help in the future. Lying on his bed, he thought. 1 month left until the exam. Si Qian closed his eyes. I need to gain a few more levels. The moment he shut his eyes, a notification appeared. System initializing. System initialization complete. Gluttony system activated. Si Qian entered another dimension. He slowly approached the tightly sealed gate of the demon tower. He recalled the previous test results, the weakest of his professions. Tang Xiao Wang could reach C rank. As for his strongest profession, Luo Sha Lian Yu, its rank could not be displayed. Although Luo Sha Lian Yu was S rank, he had been unable to unleash its full power before, so he still didn't know how much strength he could truly release. Therefore, the ranks of his other two professions remained unclear. He took out a key. The system notified. SSS grade time rift key. 1 key consumed to open the demon tower gate. The key glowed, and the tower gate slowly opened. Si Qian stepped inside. I need to test things out today. I wonder what it looks like inside the demon tower. Passing through the barrier, he entered the tower. Suddenly, he froze at the sight before him. This place is... After stepping through the gate leading to the demon tower, Si Chen was transported to a vast space known as the land of falling dead stars. Suddenly, he felt as if a heavy object was pressing down on him. Unable to adapt, Si Chen immediately dropped to one knee. Grimacing, he realized the gravity here was outrageously intense. The surface gravity of the land of falling dead stars was close to 10 g. He thought to himself that the gate he had just passed through had disappeared. Most likely, he would have to defeat the boss on this floor before it could reopen. In this environment, he could only exert at most 30% of his strength, so he had to adapt as quickly as possible. While Si Chen was assessing the situation, something approached. A lion bared its fangs and growled, preparing to attack him. It was the Huan Ling Shi. Sensing the threat, Si Chen assumed a combat stance and began switching classes. After completing the class change, his strength and speed increased. He stared at the Huan Ling Shi and said that it must be the enemy of this floor. The Huan Ling Shi took the initiative and lunged first. Si Chen dodged the powerful pounce and slid backward. He heavily swung the lightning blade in his hand, thinking this body was far too heavy and that he had to finish the fight quickly. He thrust the lightning blade straight into the Huan Ling Shi's neck. But the system notified him that he had failed to strike the weak point and paralysis was ineffective. Even Si Chen was surprised. He had missed. The Huan Ling Shi regained the advantage and slammed him to the ground. The extreme gravity greatly affected his speed and accuracy, and the assassin class seemed to have lost its advantage. The Huan Ling Shi opened its jaws and lunged again. Si Chen remained calm, realizing this was indeed a high-intensity monster of the Purgatory Demon Tower. He raised his arm to block, and the Huan Ling Shi bit fiercely into it. Taking advantage of that moment, Si Chen completed another class change, gritting his teeth and switching to Luo Sha Lian Yu. The instant he switched, his strength and stamina surged. He flung the Huan Ling Shi away. Different class cores meant different advantages. Close quarters combat required warriors with high strength and endurance. From being attacked, he became the attacker, and with a single punch he reversed control over the Huan Ling Shi. He did not stop. His punches grew stronger as gravity stacked to its maximum and the force of his heavy strike reached its peak. Preparing the finishing blow, he calculated that in this high-gravity environment, the power of his punch had increased 60-fold. The Huan Ling Shi could only lie there, eyes wide in fear. Si Chen pinned it to the ground, and the sheer force shattered the earth beneath them. A massive power descended as he declared that nothing could stop him. The system notification rang out. Warrior news. Triple general gravity calamity. Super gravity mode. Panting heavily, Si Chen's arm throbbed with pain. Covered in wounds, exhausted, he collapsed beside the corpse of the Huan Ling Shi. The system notified him that he had obtained a Huan Ling lion bone. After the battle, he gained 12,000 experience points and leveled up from 10 to 11. He calculated that each star on a class card represented a multiplier of attributes. The more stars, the stronger the class's future potential. He recalled that the more stars Luo Sha Lian Yu possessed, the greater the overall enhancement and the higher its future rank compared to the lightning assassin. However, when facing the B-rank demon beast earlier, he had already exhausted all his strength, and it seemed neither of his current classes could break through B-rank for now. Suddenly, Si Chen realized something. Looking at the Huan Ling Shi's corpse, he wondered why the system had not displayed the deverable mark and why the gate to the next floor had not appeared. He froze as a terrifying thought formed. A streak of white light appeared in the air, and a spatial gate slowly opened behind him. From within it, countless horrifying eyes stared at him. Si Chen spun around instantly, realizing that the true lord had not yet appeared. Countless Huan Ling Shi rushed out of the gate. The one he had nearly killed with such effort had merely been a minor monster. They swarmed him, one biting into his shoulder while others clawed and tore at his body. At the brink of life and death, Si Chen realized the cruel truth. Only at that moment did he understand the meaning of Luo Sha Diyu's words. Once the door was opened, what awaited him was endless suffering. Amid the sharp fangs of the Huan Ling Shi, the voice echoed in his mind, conquer all. In reality, Si Chen suddenly woke up and bolted upright in bed as if from a terrifying nightmare. Still shaken, he breathed heavily to calm himself and touched his intact body. The torn muscles and ripped flesh from the dream had felt indescribably real. Gritting his teeth, he reminded himself that there were no shortcuts to becoming stronger and that this lonely and brutal path of purgatory had only just begun. Scene shift. Friday, May 20th, 2157, at National Awakeners University Auditorium, where all the students had gathered. Sitting at the front was Gong Zan, director of the employment office. Leisurely sipping water, the students whispered that the higher-ups of the Guild Alliance would be coming to watch this year's graduation practical exam. Si Chen sat quietly in a corner listening, understanding why the rules had changed. In previous years there were no limits on participant numbers or rank requirements. But this time each team had to have at least 5 members. And at least one had to reach upper E rank. Gongzan casually announced that all students' rank information had been sent to their wristbands and instructed them to check and quickly form teams. The students immediately checked, and the system displayed team status, names, and ranks. Ma Long suddenly noticed something strange. The system showed Si Chen as lower E rank. Shocked, he asked how that was possible. Other students were puzzled as well, recalling that he had previously tested as C rank. Some sneered that the demon heart must have malfunctioned before and that Si Chen was merely lower E rank after all. Murmurs spread that no one would want him on their team for such an important exam and that he must regret rejecting Gong Ting's invitation. In a corner, Gong Ting observed silently while Gong Zan watched calmly, secretly pleased, thinking that his useless nephew would soon learn how power and human nature truly worked. He doesn't even have the qualification to participate. The teacher's voice rang out. Students, please make the most of your time and quickly form your teams. Everyone immediately burst into chaos. President Gong Ting, President Gong Ting. They rushed to stand in front of Gong Ting. Please let me join your team. Pick me, President. I'm a third-year student. I definitely won't hold the team back. Captain, my class is healing. I can definitely be a huge help to the team. President, let me be your dog. Gong Cheng shouted loudly. Hey, that's enough noise. Back off. We can add at most one more person. Half an hour later, 5 arms slammed together. A green light flashed with a sound. Team successfully formed. Inside the room, everyone had already formed their teams. Brothers, let's do our best. Let's go. Ma Long sighed. We've asked around so many times, and no one agreed to join us. Shang Ta held his head. We're still short of one person. Don't tell me we can't even participate in the graduation exam? He gritted his teeth. This is really strange. How could Si Chen's performance only be ranked at the lowest level? To register, we need at least 5 people. At worst, we need 1 E upper tier. It feels like this is deliberately targeting our dorm. Si Chen fell into thought. The graduation practical combat exam was everyone's only chance to prove themselves. Only if the team scored high would they have a chance at better jobs. During the final evaluation, the number of monsters inside the demon cave depended on the number of people in the group. But it wasn't necessarily true that more people meant higher scores. That was why everyone was scrambling to join a strong team like Gong Ting's. No one was willing to join a low-ranked team. The 3 lowest-ranked students in the entire school were all E lower tier, and all from their dorm. If this continues... At that moment, a voice called out from afar. Hey, Shang Ta, the boy shouted. We're short 1 person. Join our team. You don't want to stay in that trash team with 3 E lower tier roommates. Do you? Otherwise, you won't even have the qualification to take the graduation evaluation. Si Chen narrowed his eyes. If this goes on, the 3 of us E lower tier will most likely be abandoned. 3 are E lower tier. Shang Ta is E mid tier. In the end, he would lose his qualification. After thinking for a while, Shang Ta spoke up. I'm really sorry. Our dorm already agreed to form a team together. I won't abandon my roommates. The other boy snorted angrily and turned away. Whatever. We only asked you to make up the numbers anyway. And you still dare to reject us? Don't know what's good for you. Shang Ta crossed his arms. Stop looking down on people. The system panel appeared. 8 lower tier teams and 1 upper tier team. Ma Long panicked. Looks like everyone has already formed their teams. There aren't many E upper tier left now. We're clearly just missing 1 person. But no one is willing to join. Si Chen turned his head away silently. His pupils shining brightly. He looked toward the director of the employment office. Gong Zan. C mid-tier. Gong Zan. Director of the employment office. He shared the same surname as Gong Ting. Clearly, he was from the Gong family as well. Such an important rule like the graduation exam, changed at will. He even deliberately altered his actual rank to prevent others from forming teams. Was he trying to protect Gong Ting? Those in power truly want control over everything. But this graduation exam, I will definitely participate. Since you've openly targeted me like this. Now that my class change is complete, there's no need for me to hold back anymore. Proving myself with strength isn't limited to just this test. Ma Long shouted. Hey, what are you trying to do? At the Awakeners Academy, there had always been a special tradition. Everyone gasped in shock. Is he? What is that kid Si Chen planning to do? To help students mature in their classes and combat skills, students could challenge others to 1v1 battles anywhere. It was a highly confrontational act, but also the most direct way to display one's strength publicly. Faced with a sudden challenge, many people would refuse. Everyone instinctively stepped back in fear. But Gong Ting definitely would not. Gong Ting glanced back. As long as I defeat him, Si Chen glared back. Then there will definitely be people who want high scores and come to form a team.